This is True Free Man 317. Today is August 27th of 2014. Tried to do this story yesterday, but here we go. Breaking news. Kansas cop executes an unarmed suicidal teen as his family pleads for his life. Now, before I start, you're looking at the picture of the teen. As you can see, he is white. This teen was shot 16 times. This teen was suicidal. This teen was unarmed. Again, this teen is white. Where is the justification in shooting this man 16 times? I don't see any justification in shooting somebody 16 times that's unarmed. And for those of you who don't think that it could happen to other nationalities besides so-called black people, well, it does happen. Why are they not talking about this in the news? If I'm not mistaken, I believe it happened on the 25th of August. Why is the media not talking about it? Now, I'm not saying it so that it can take over the Mike Brown story, but both of them were teenagers. Both of them got gunned down by police. Shouldn't matter what color they are. My question again is, why is the media not talking about this white kid being gunned down by the police, shot 16 times? He was mentally ill, or he was trying to commit suicide. Okay, so did this story like two or three times yesterday, couldn't get it up. I figured it was a better presentation, but this is it's early in the morning. It's 8 a.m. here, but it is what it is. So I'll go ahead and I'll continue the story, and I'll read some of the story, and then I'll post a link in the description box below. On August 23rd, actually it happened on the 23rd, not the 25th. On August 23rd, Ottawa, Kansas police shot Joseph Jennings 16 times, even as his aunt and uncle begged them not to, according to the news. Jennings was suicidal. He had taken an overdose on August 21st, and two police officers helped save his life. Wow, I'm glad those two officers helped save his life, because you know what? They're the two officers that were involved in taking this guy's life. They helped save his life, and then because he was trying to commit suicide, and 2 days well, he took an overdose, which he was trying to commit suicide. And 2 days later, both of those officers were involved in gunning down the teen. So you save his life from an overdose, and then you turn around and come back 2 days later and gun him down and shoot him 16 times. I'm trying to understand what's going on, because you guys, when you had an interaction with him 2 days prior, you knew that he was suicidal. When you came 2 days after saving his life for taking an overdose, he was unarmed. You know he was suicidal, and he didn't have a weapon, and y'all chose to shoot this teen 16 times. This pisses me off just as much as the Mike Brown. This pisses me off just as much as any other teen or man or woman gunned down and shot like a dog, and is not called for. But let me continue. Jennings was released from Ransom Memorial Hospital 2 days after the suicide attempt on August 23rd. His aunt Brandy Smith told the news that he left the house just a few hours after returning home, apparently on a suicide mission. Smith said that she looked out her window and saw Jennings outside, as well as 6 police officers. She and her husband ran to the scene. Smith said, and I quote, "And I told them if he had a gun, it was a BB gun, but we don't know that. He knew that if he acted like he had a gun, that they wouldn't that they would shoot him, and I told him that. Joseph Jennings' uncle also attempted to intervene, and I quote, "My husband was going to tackle him. He was within arm's reach. They said get back or they were going to shoot him." Now, his uncle could have stopped all this. He was going to tackle him. He would have been possibly successful. I'm almost positive of it. The officers told him to get back or they were going to shoot him. Does that make any sense to you people? Let me continue. Smith told reporters, and I quote, "It was like six officers, and one yelled, 'Yep, bagging,' and they bagged him." And what they mean by that, I'm not getting it at this point. And he kind of puffed up a little bit, and then they bagged him 2 more times, and then like 16 shots rang out, and they shot him, and he fell to the ground. So I don't know if they're talking about bagging him as in tasering him or whatever, but it's neither here nor there. I'm thinking bagging as if put him in a body bag. Who knows? I could be wrong on that. But and it goes on and on. I'll continue. She went on to say, and I quote, "And that's what I don't understand is why did it take them shooting him 16 times at least for them to bring him down? Why didn't they bag him, knock him down, and then go and take care of whatever they needed to take care of?" And I think they use bag as a taser term or something. I'm going to go ahead and assume that. In response to the shooting, Ottawa Police Chief Dennis Butler said the officers were doing what they are trained to do. They trained to shoot somebody 16 times to stop the threat, which I don't see where the threat came in at. He was threatening suicide on himself. So instead of you allowing him to kill himself, which I'm not suggesting that you did, but you kill him. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense. And I quote, "They reacted based upon the training that they have been given from the academy." That's why y'all all need to be retrained. Y'all trained to shoot to kill. Why? Because you're scared of having to pay medical bills for someone that survives, whether they were guilty or not. You know this, right? Talked about it on my show last week. But anyway, we were thankful that no officer was injured from protecting themselves from risk of bodily harm. You weren't at risk. The youth was at risk because he was trying to kill himself, not you. Oh boy, this is ridiculous. This absolutely makes no sense at all. Then it goes on to say this is what cops are being trained to do at the academy: shoot teenagers with BB guns dead while their family members beg them not to. Can the academy start training them to use tasers? How about training them to think about what they would do if it was their own child? Or maybe start teaching them some non-violent self-defense tactics. Now, that was a good statement she made. How about uh, she said, how about training them to think about what they would do if it was their own child? So if they looked at it as their own child going through those situations, I guarantee you they wouldn't have shot him 16 times. They bet they wouldn't have shot him at all. But since it wasn't their kid, they went ahead and gunned him down because 16 times is just outright ridiculous. And it's taking everything out of me not to use a whole bunch of profanity in this video. Okay? Because this is sick. It took you 16 times to bring him down. It'd have been better off you shot him in the leg or something. But y'all not taught to do that. Y'all are taught to shoot to kill. Y'all are trained to shoot to kill. That's why 99.9% of police shootings end in a death. Why? Because they are trained at the academy to shoot to kill. They didn't even told us this in the media. They are trained to shoot to kill. Why are they trained to shoot to kill? Because if there is no if no one lives, then they don't have to be worried about having to foot the medical bills for the rest of that individual's life. I've had a personal conversation with an officer quite some time ago, years ago, way before I came into this information. And they said one of them literally told me why they taught to shoot to kill. But we're not even gonna go there. Oh boy. 6 officers and 16 bullets for one unarmed mentally ill kid. This is a fail. This is a case of officers having a real opportunity to do something good to help a young man that obviously needed help, but choosing to end his life by firing squad instead. As a country, we have to come together and find some kind of solution to this growing threat to the public. I've done videos about this a long time ago. These agencies and police departments are a threat, okay, to the public. They are a domestic threat. And what they're trying to do is reverse the scenes. And I'm not going to say all of them are, but the for a fact, the departments they work for, what they do, they are a total threat to the public. And I'm not saying all officers have that those intentions, but you shouldn't be trained to kill. That's just like these officers, these soldiers coming back from Iraq and then joining the police department, post-traumatic stress disorder, all this stuff going on, and then you come back and get on the police force, and then you basically gun us down. Okay, it's ridiculous. The threat to the public is not the public, it's the public officials. All right. As our country, we have as a country, we have to come together and find some kind of solution to this growing threat to the public, which is the police. The police are no longer serving and protecting. They are killing our children in cold blood without so much of an ounce of remorse. And there was a news report on it, but they removed it. Anyway, this is True Free Man 317 signing out. I'll leave the link to this article. You can Google it and possibly find many more. But could have done a better video. But again, I tried to put it up all day yesterday and was having difficulties with the free program that I use. Got five or 7 days for it expires, so maybe that's why it's getting crazy. But this is True Free Man 317. I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. Rate the video, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll catch you on the next video.